To the ride of Friday. Do you think of that of like a day is like a ride at the fair?
No.
No. I kind of
That's a fun way to think of it, though.
Yeah. You were talking about vacation. You were talking about my screen went dark. You were talking about vacationing. You were talking about the summer, and then you said that you would like to go to Toronto, the T dot, and maybe go to the zoo and maybe Wonderland because you do like rides. You enjoy rides.
I do.
You do like rides. Do I like rides? I like the day as a ride. Like I feel like this day is going to be a good ride.
Mm-hmm.
I dislike certain rides that do the same thing over and over again, like the Gravitron. Oh my goodness! Like the Gravitron is,
and yet that's our life.
And
just
that's
do the same
just
thing.
Go around
over and over
around and around and around.
And you love it.
I don't feel like I'm stuck in Groundhog Day in that way. But I remember the Zipper. The Zipper was the crickety ride that went around but then went around. That's a good ride. I like roller coasters. I dislike the Great Canadian Mindbuster at Wonderland, the wood one,
because it hurts your neck.
It's good, but I'm that age of like the last time I went on that, I was like, I hated that. Like, I feel like I got in a fight. Like, oh my goodness. That's what happens when you get older. Yeah. Well, welcome to the ride. We're glad you are here with us. This is Friday. We're going to have a short meditation today on life in recovery. So whatever recovery is, whatever you're recovering from, some of us is codependency, some of us is substance abuse, and everything in between. So recovery to us is actually recovering a lost connection to a power greater than ourselves that can solve all of our problems. So that's the goal of what we do here, is lead people into that relationship. Yeah. All right, here we go. It is the 10th, June the 10th. Oh, that means you're reading.
Okay. When a newcomer to the program tells his or her sponsor about the alcoholic conflict in the home, we must realize this is only one side of the story. At first, these reports of our grievances are highly colored and dramatized by our confusions. A small incident may be blown up out of all proportion to its reality. Constant tension, anger, and frustration have deprived us of a rational perspective. Growth in the program brings us to compassionate understanding of the alcoholic's deep guilt and unhappiness. As we apply the program day by day, we become willing to acknowledge that we too must share the responsibility of the family troubles. They're talking from the Al-Anon perspective. Today's reminder, Al-Anon's challenge to me is this: deliberately to cancel out my thoughts of grievances against others, especially the alcoholic, to face the real causes of much of my misery, and to believe that I can do a great deal to improve my life by rooting out my own shortcomings. If you are pained by any external thing, look to yourself for release from it. When circumstances cause you to be disturbed, return to yourself quickly. Do not remain out of tune with the universal good.
And that's why we read a book like this, because we are in a relationship and we used to be in an addictive relationship and now we have recovery from that. So the one thing is that the one hope that they said at the end, this is the hope of recovery, that nothing on the outside actually has to change. I'm going to be changed from the inside so I can deal with what's happening on the outside. Does that mean stay in an addictive relationship? Does that mean stay in an abusive relationship? Absolutely not. The other thing I hear is, like, there is courts of law, and there are right and wrong, and there are people that hurt people, and there is like winners and losers in a court of law.
Okay.
This isn't what they're talking about. This is, if you're in an addictive relationship, there's two people in it. Like, you're in an addictive relationship. So why did you get in it? You might be codependent. You might have the addicted side as well. So what it's saying is not just one person. There's two people in this relationship, and there's two sides to every story. Wait, There's how many sides? 3 sides to every story. His, hers, and the truth. But that, like, kidding aside,
No, that's not kidding. That's true.
That is truth, but kidding aside, we have little friends. One is 5 and one turned 4 yesterday. And there are times when Uncle John gets rushed and there are tears and there's a problem and he did this and he really hurt me. And you hear the side of the story and you're like, oh my goodness, like, we will solve this. We will solve this swiftly. There will be time outs handed out. There'll be gruff sounding voices. Maybe dessert will be taken away. Maybe Teletubby time will be taken away. Okay, no one watches Teletubbies, but you get the point. And then you go to the other little person and he's got sand in his eyes. He's crying because he can't even breathe because he's been like thrown. Like there was an assault that happened to his face and he's can't even come and tell anybody because he's full of sand. And then you're like, oh, you. And isn't that about like the addicted relationship? We think the other person's the problem. We project, we blame. I remember thinking, now that I have a real job, I'll be a real man. I'll be a real adult and I'll be able to handle life. And that, it just gave me more excuses to go and do my substance abuse. And then I remember when we had a child and I remember thinking, now I'm going to be a real man. I'm going to be there's no reasons for me to continue doing what I'm doing. And then that didn't really work because the outside changed, but the inside didn't. And I remember as more responsibility got piled into real life, I remember going, I just need a break from her. Right. Like the demands, the responsibility, like no one should be able to deal with this or tolerate this kind of behavior. And so I just need a break. I'll be back. And that's blaming the other person for my circumstances is this whole addicted relationship. So how do we break that pattern is, well, you get into recovery, you get sick and tired of being sick and tired. You understand that this isn't working anymore and that I have no control over anything in my life. And that's really what rock bottom is. That's where people get help.
Okay. Good stuff.
Good stuff. Anything else?
I don't know. Do you have anything else?
Do you? All right. Happy Friday. Take this day like a beautiful ride. Not like the Gravitron and puke on everybody. But we will see you. Have a great weekend and keep the peace. Be of good behavior.